Hey everybody, welcome to Online Distance Education. I'm going to be giving you a brief overview for our course, but what it's going to look like for the next 4 weeks. I know some of you guys are excited, others of you are a little bit nervous, but hopefully by the end of this video you feel a little bit better about the transition we're going to make. As we go through this process, it certainly is a learning process, as many of you I'm sure haven't taken too many completely asynchronous online courses. So if you do need any help or if you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out and I'll be talking to you a little bit later about the different ways you can do that. So once you sign into my MHS and go ahead and click on my course, you're going to be brought to the bulletin board screen. And this is going to be actually the place where I'll be posting announcements for this course. So over the course of the next 4 weeks, if I need to make any large changes or present to you kind of key pieces of information, I'll be posting that here and it'll actually come across the top. That is a little bit blank right now. The bulk of our actual kind of information or course kind of management system is actually going to be nestled into topics. So when you come in, you're going to want to go ahead and click on the topics section. And what you'll see here is actually your online course overview where this video is currently nestled in. But you'll also see listed out at the time when you log in your topic for the week. And so in this case, for my British Literature course, Online Learning Week 1 consists of the beginning of our podcast unit. And within each of those, you'll be able to go through and click and get additional information from there. But let's go ahead and dive a little bit more into the online course overview. So this section will essentially house a lot of essential information for you that will be vital to you over the course of the next 4 weeks as we go through our online distance education extension for this course. So with that, a couple things I want to point out. First and foremost is kind of the online course expectations. So the first is for you to watch weekly introduction videos that'll be posting for you at the essentially embedded in the topic for each week. The idea of the weekly kind of introduction videos is I'm going to go through and explain to you all of the classwork and homework assignments for the week. So you get additional kind of scaffolding and support as you go through it. With that, it also gives you information front-loaded about what to expect over the course of the entirety of the week, rather than requiring you to wait from day to day to be able to go through and get that information. So that'll be really helpful for you. Second thing is to make sure that you read all of the directions in advance of the deadlines. And because I'm posting all of the information within a topic at the beginning of the week, I'm allowing you to go through the process of pacing yourself. So traditionally, when you're enrolling in an asynchronous online, distance education course, they tend to kind of really stress the value of learner pacing, or allowing you as the learner to be able to choose to some extent the way in which you engage in those assignments. And so we're going to be following that model as well. Typically that's locked in some level, either kind of weekly or bi-weekly, and so we're going to be choosing the weekly module. So what that means at the start of each week, you'll have access to all of the assignments for the course of that week for the classwork and for the homework. And then as long as you submit them prior to the deadline, are welcome and happy to engage them as necessary. So you're more than likely or welcome to be able to work ahead if you so choose. And the emphasis of that is you get to be in charge of your own education. And with that, then the responsibility is that you are in charge of your own education. You're probably at some point going to run into some sort of problem, and ultimately it is your responsibility to problem solve it. However, my job is to really help you in that process and help kind of walk and coach you through any problems that you may face. So there's a couple different ways you can get a hold of me so that I can best go through and support you. It will be your responsibility to make sure that you reach out in a timely manner. But again, I'm here to help you, and my goal is really for this to be as smoothless and as a transition as we can make it. So the first way of getting a hold of me is essentially going to be through our office hours, which are listed on this left-hand side. Every day from Monday through Thursday from 10:30 to 11:30, I'm going to block out a video conferencing time. If you click on the link to the office hours, that'll open you up to then a Google Meet video page, and from there then you'll be able to then access our kind of dedicated conference room for office hours. I'll be available during the time slots that are listed there, and more than happy to talk or walk through you with any classwork or homework assignment that you may have with that. If you need help outside of the office hours that are listed there, please go ahead and then just use the link to the Google Hangouts and directly message me through that. That will bring you to a communal room, both for British literature and all of my courses nested together, or for AP literature nested together. If you have an individual message that's not relevant for everyone in the class, then you're more than welcome to then go through and message me individually. But that becomes a place where then you can get a hold of me between typically 9 and 4 fairly regularly, and it is an instant messaging application similar to WhatsApp. So I'll be able to go through and just type back and go through and get you the info we need. If I feel like it'll be more productive for us to be able to go through and transition into an audio video conference, I may go through and make a Google Meet video conference from there, and I can go through it and adjust that beyond office hours as necessary. If for whatever reason you need to get a hold of me outside of kind of the 9 to 4 hours, you can try to see if I'm available or online for Google Hangouts. If not, just go ahead and please shoot me an email. I'll be checking it fairly periodically over the course of the day, multiple times. With that, I've also tried to go through and give you a streamlined service for communication to help direct you in the right places. So ultimately, I'm going to try to actually over-communicate in this online format to be able to get you as much information as you need. So I'm going to ask you to go through these 4 steps before you reach out in one or the other ways. So the first is referring to then the topic of the week and then the online learning lesson. So for this week 1, you'll look at the online learning week 1 topic, and nestled in that will be information that is vital to then the coursework and assignments for that week. If you don't find it on that general page, then listed on each day within that week is going to be a e-learning lesson plan. Go ahead and click on that and it'll open you up to a Google Doc with a whole lot more information about the classwork and assignments for that week. And I would encourage you to go through and read through that. It'll have then compartmentalized sections. It'll have links out to additional resources, and it'll have a whole lot of information from there. If for whatever reason it's not available there, then I would encourage you to go back to the class bulletin board and see if there's announcements that's posted. And then finally, if you can't find it, then go ahead and scroll down to the very bottom of your topic for the week. And at the bottom of that, there's a student Q&A forum where you're able to go through and post a general message that your peers are going to be able to respond to and I'll be able to respond to. So that's a good point. If for whatever reason it's not there, then you can certainly try one of those other areas. If it's within office hour time, you can certainly come through and meet with me during office hours or reach out via Google Hangouts or email. Access to course materials will essentially be 24/7 based on my MHS topics. Information will be posted for the week's classwork and assignments at the start of each week, and you'll have access to all of them, the resources embedded within those documents under the topic sections. Technology requirements are outlined on the left-hand side, so please make sure that you have all of those resources to make your successful this course. If for whatever reason you don't, please reach out to me ASAP via email, and we can try to find a way to help problem solve that for you. As you transition to a asynchronous format, it's really going to be important for you to think about time management skills. Some of you do a phenomenal job with this, others of you it's a little bit more of a challenge. But for the 4 weeks that we're going to be meeting, we have 12 days of equivalent of instruction, 2 for this first week, 4 for the next week, 4 for the one following, and then finally we'll end with 2 before we transition into Easter break. Classwork assignments are going to be due at 4 p.m. on the same day they're assigned, and then homework assignments will be due either at 9 a.m. The following then listed class day, or at a different time if noted within the assignment's instructions. So please make sure you read through those with you. Please make sure you go through and plan accordingly. While you do have the flexibility to be able to work on the coursework for this course and your other courses anytime between 9 and 4 p.m. for your classwork for that day, you do want to make sure you prioritize enough time. Assignment policy is fairly similar to the one that we've had before. So late work will receive half credit. Work beyond kind of that 24 hours will not be accepted. If you run into any sort of extenuating circumstances, please feel free to reach out and we can go through and try to make accommodations as necessary. For classwork, I'll need to know at least 2 hours in advance of the deadline. And for homework, I'll at least need to know 12. So we'll work our way through those things, so please don't hesitate to reach out if you find some sort of complication. And then as always, academic integrity is paramount for our school and for our values. So any form of plagiarism and cheating will not be tolerated and be handled accordingly. Well, thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you as we go through this online course. Again, if you have any questions or any concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help you, and I'll see you online.